we see this go wrong a lot of times, especially when people start in Success School. They come in and they're like, I'm an accountant, or I'm a coach, or I'm a fitness coach. And I'm like, sweet, we get that. But there's so much competition in the world right now that really Steph and I both think that you have to have some form of niche. If you don't have a niche, you have to be niched on a result that you get.
So we have had clients have some of their highest cash months off the back of this strategy. It's because they get in front of the right audiences. So guest speaking is always a way to be able to grow your, not only like audience, but to grow your sales.
Welcome to the Success School podcast. We're on episode 63 today. Steph, how are you feeling?
I think that I am actually feeling so pumped because if you're watching this on YouTube, and if you're not, you should definitely get onto YouTube and have a little look-see. We are in our brand new podcast setup studio. I feel like this has been a dream that has been such a long time coming, Tim.
Man.
We have been talking about making this look like this for just ever, not really knowing what we want to do or how we want it to look. But today, literally today, Tim organized the install of this incredible wall that's behind us. Alicia, our podcast manager, got us in touch with Freedom for the orange chairs. They're not free. This is not sponsored.
She didn't tread lightly with that. She just sent it to me and said, buy these. And I was like, okay. Sorry, Alicia, I'm not going to fuck with you. Yeah.
He does what he's told. He's very well trained.
I'm a great man, great husband.
But it's looking awesome, guys. So we'd love your feedback in the comments.
So today we're on our Upskill episode. We're talking about how to get customers without paid ads, the bane of my existence. I am the paid ads guy. So this is going to be challenging for me. You might need to lead this. Nah, I'm just kidding. I know what I'm talking about here, don't I, Steph? Sort of.
You do. And I actually think, though, Tim's one of these people who requires a lot of proof before he makes a belief system, which is cool because then you know that if Tim has a belief system or something, it's very, very strongly founded. But it's taken some time for Tim's Organic to really produce. Well, he's probably the messaging.
Who went viral first?
Oh, shit.
Who went viral first? That's the real question.
He did go viral first, to be fair. He did go viral first. But he hasn't really cared about organic growth until just recently. And so now that it's tapped in, now that it's working for you,
close to 10K, baby.
I would say that you are somewhat of an expert at these days.
I'm not. I'm just a guy that has a crack. We're going to get into personal updates. I've had 7 teeth removed. So if you're wondering who this orc is in front of you on camera at the moment, and orc is a reference from Lord of the Rings, you know those like fucked up looking weird duty things. Anyway.
Now they think that you're a dork.
Yeah, they think I'm a dork. So I get my first braces in. By the time you guys see this, I will have them in. Adult braces. It's quite weird having some teeth removed. And I know Steph always tries to big dick me on these segments of personal updates, and there has to be a meaning for everything according to Steph. I'm just here to update you guys on what the fuck's going on. But, it has to be a meaning. But you've got to go through great pain to get where you want to go in life. And if I want to have a Hollywood smile, I need to go through great pain. And it's coming, guys. It's coming.
The sacrifices you are making, Tim, it's not lost on me, No, thank you.
Yeah, I'm doing this for you in our podcast.
One thing I found quite interesting. Okay, so facts you didn't need to know that you are about to hear. I didn't know that, Tim and I actually have the same amount of teeth. He now has 7 less.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize that, it wasn't because, when people need braces, I always thought it was because people were growing too many teeth, which now sounds so dumb.
We are not sharks.
But instead, it's because your jaw is smaller. And so
smaller?
there's crowding.
What do you mean smaller?
Tim's Devo.
Try chewing with 7 less teeth.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
It is a battle.
I can't imagine. So yeah, we're excited to see Tim's new jawline. And I wonder if by the time, because it changes the jawline.
Okay.
I wonder if by the time you guys listen to this next episode, the episodes that are coming after this, you'll hear maybe a bit more of a lisp because
I have a lisp.
Might not be able to use his teeth as well. Anyway, my personal update is that we actually have been hiring a few team members lately, which has been really cool. And
scary.
It is scary. And also, God, guys, just for anyone who's maybe made some hiring mistakes in the past, same. And I think that one thing you should know is that it gets easier and better every single time you hire. One thing that Tim always said to me is your next hire is your best hire. And that is actually definitely rang to be true for us. So we brought on a couple of new team members recently. And one thing that we did really well, thanks to Tim's system that he's built out called the Not You system, which we'll be rolling out for our clients in Success School in a few weeks, is that we went through a really intense process of figuring out who this person is, what we want from them, what the interview questions are going to be, what the onboarding is going to look like, like, what the application form would look like. Like it was an end-to-end build out on recruitment of this process, and we followed it to a T. And so within the first 2 weeks, our new team members hitting KPIs, and it's been so easy and so simple and so easeful. And the lesson here is the more effort you put in before you press go, the better the result will be, which sounds really obvious, but it's true.
Yeah, like you guys might be guilty of this if you've hired in the past, but you're like, yeah, I need a VA. And you just hire a VA, and there is no thoughts or processes that go into what they're going to do, what their tasks are, any like process and procedures on how to do it, where to do it, meetings, KPIs, all that type of stuff. So we got that dialed in, and it's great.
It's been awesome.
So should we get into this topic? We are talking upskill today. So getting clients without paid ads. And the reason this comes about is that Apple, the greedy fuckers over in Sacramento or wherever the hell you are.
Texas now, maybe.
Tejas. Tejas, that means Texas, by the way. I have got Queen of the South on my mind. Great show. Anyway, they've added on 30% on top on boosts, which basically rules out everyone that uses Apple. And then they charge tax on top of that as well now. So ends up being about 40% on top to boost. And boosting sucks anyway. And it's gotten even suckier because it's 40% more expensive. So it's becoming more expensive to pay to play. So we're basically talking about how to grow without paid ads today. Steph, did you think boosting was effective for you previously? Talk us through it.
I mean, look, yes and no. I think like you really had to so boosting through the app on Instagram, I always found a bit clunky. You couldn't target particularly well on paid ads. We always would love to, for example, target like coaches or consultants or fitness coaches or nutrition coaches. And you couldn't target any of those things on boosting. So it was really, really annoying. You couldn't boost stuff that had certain music. You couldn't boost stuff that had certain effects. It was just like a bit of a nightmare to get boosted. The analytics, actually measuring the analytics in the app are also a nightmare. It was super hard to read anything. It took ages to load. So while, yes, I found boosting to be very effective, what we've actually found is that, when you do the not lazy thing, which they have forced us to do now through Apple, which is to actually go into Ads Manager and get it done, that Tim's done it so far and it's already well and truly exceeding the results of the boost that we were doing beforehand. So boosting did work okay. Doing it through Meta works better. But in saying that, organic stuff is popping off right now. So that's what we're going to talk about today.
I've got a confession. I've been a super lazy business coach of late, and I'm going to tell you why and how. So I posted in our forum last weekend, and I said, comment below your biggest marketing win that you've had and strategy that you've used in the last couple of months. Our clients all got together and then they posted in there. And then what I did is I just compiled that in a document and we came up with the top 14 marketing strategies that are working right now in coaches. This episode, we're going to go through them and then we're going to give you examples of how to use it. We are completely unprepared here. So what you hear is literally us coaching. So if a client would come on and be like, how do we do networking? We're going to give it to you raw and how we would do it on the spot. How this is going to work is I'm going to start with one. I'm going to ask Steph and then she's going to explain the strategy. She's going to ask me the next one. I'm going to explain the strategy and then we're going to go back and forth just like this. So this is like hot seat type coaching. Yeah. All right, Steph. So the first suggestion we had from our clients, this is from 250 clients, by the way. So they've got networking and relationship building. Steph, how would you use it and how would you do it?
So guys, you have to get out from behind your computer. Like the number one thing, we drill this down our clients' throats. You have to get out from behind your computer. You have to actually meet people. Your network is your net worth. This has proven true for us so many times. So getting to in-person events, getting to retreats, getting to masterminds, getting to, even meetups and catch-ups and organizing coffee catch-ups with people is absolutely paramount to growing a business. One thing that we've seen with a lot of clients right now is they're reaching out to ex-people that were in their world. So if, for example, if they, are a career coach, they've been reaching out to people who were in the corporate world before. They've been teeing up coffee catch-ups and seeing if they can add value and then pitching potentially at some level presentation or their service if it feels like it's the right thing to do. And it is always so fruitful versus just pitching an email, much, much harder, more likely to get deleted. So we're seeing in a lot of our clients, a lot of the ones who are actually pitching in person, who are actually going and meeting people, huge results, massive, like 8K, 10K speaking gigs. They're getting sales off the back of them. It's phenomenal. It works every time. All right, Tim, genuine connection and conversations.
Well, I'm quite a man of genuine connection. So this
really
one is going to be deep conversations, never service level conversations.
Never a thumbs up reply to a message.
Never thumbs ups. So I'll probably just give an example here. We review a lot of DMs, sell by chat, kind of conversation-y type things that our clients send to us. When their sell by chats are not working, we're like, yeah, send us a screenshot, send us a video, and let's go through it. Where they go wrong is essentially, someone replies to you with this heavy shit. They're like, hey, this is my problem in my life, my business, yada, yada, or career or whatever it is. And then they just reply back with like a one-word answer and then they just ask another connection. People can kind of see through that. So if someone's opening up to you and going deep on a topic, you kind of need to reciprocate and go deep back if you want to build that connection, because it just looks like you don't give a fuck. And when you look like you don't give a fuck, people don't want to do business with you. I think the saying is people don't care about how much you know unless they know about how much you care. People need to see this, or prospects need to see this when you're in chats or communications with them. Some of the best networking we've ever done, Steph and I, is when we give without any expectation in return and we give 100%. And I like to frame my business philosophy around that. As soon as someone messages me something on Instagram and they're like, hey, can I grab this or can you help me with this? I'm like, of course. I expect nothing in return. There's no expectation that you're going to apply for Success School and become a client of ours and pay us 5 figures to come and work with us. I'll give it to you, obviously, within reason. I'm not going to go and review landing pages if you're not a client, but most of the time, small things I can give without any expectation.
Yeah, and it always pays off.
All right, Steph, number 3, guest speaking and channel growth.
So we have had clients have some of their highest cash months off the back of this strategy, and it's because they get in front of the right audiences. So guest speaking is always a way to be able to grow your, not only like audience, but to grow your sales. It's really easy when you are put in a position of trust and authority by somebody that these people already trust. It just makes it so much easier to make sales. So let me give you an example. Some of our clients recently presented for a group on a marketing strategy. So they are network marketing business coaches, and they went and spoke for a network marketing group, and they had about 1,000 people. They were positioned as the marketing experts for this area or this niche, and because of that, off the back of that, they had their highest sales ever off the back of that presentation. It is so easy to make sales. It is so easy to build your following. It is so easy to build know, like, and trust when you are referred by somebody, when you're put on a platform as somebody that they trust and respect. It is so much easier to grow your business. So pitch to get speaking gigs. Go and ask. You have to ask. Like, I think a lot of people wait to be invited. Guys, you have to ask to get speaking gigs. So get in front of somebody else's audience. You'll make sales. You will grow really quickly. All right, Tim, casual CTA in groups.
Yes, another topic I'm a huge expert at is casual CTAs in groups. But if you were to execute this is how I would do it. I would be going through groups where your target markets hang out, or target market ideal clients. I'd be giving value in the groups without any expectation, and my CTA would be book in for a free thing with me. An example here, if you're a copywriter, like Bonnie does, she'll go and give value in a group and then be like, hey, let me know if you want me to audit a sales page or a landing page. She jumps on, does a 60-second loom, offers some value, 3 things to improve, and they're going to be like, cool, this Bonnie chick knows what's up. I'm going to work with her. It's a bit more of a effort-based marketing rather than just posting on Instagram and expecting clients to come to you. But when you do chill CTAs like that or offer value in exchange, good things can happen.
Yeah, the conversion rate's much higher too.
Yeah, 100%. Steph, we have storytelling and organic content. Obviously, organic content queen over here. Hasn't gone viral, though. That's a feather in the cap that is not there at the moment.
I do have 15,000 more followers than either.
How many did you buy?
I didn't buy any. That is so rude.
How did you pay for?
Storytelling. No. Storytelling. We have actually been really passionate about this for the last couple of months ourselves, and it has absolutely paid dividends for us. So we've taught it to our clients. We've taught the art of storytelling to our clients. Our clients are now using it. I know our client Anne has been sending storytelling emails and is getting mass amounts of calls booked off the back of that, which is phenomenal. Telling a story rather than trying to sell something is 100% the way forward. We've been telling stories for centuries as humans, and that's the best way that we react, and that's the best way we engage with each other, is to tell stories. Even if it's gossip, it's a story. Even if you're watching reality TV, you're watching a story unfold. And so movies are all stories. We literally love reading and being in and being part of a story. And so if you can share a story that is about a problem that a client was facing and, what they did to solve it, and then position your service as a solution at the end of the storytelling, you're going to be much more likely to make a sale or to get a lean in or to get a call booked or to get a reply than if you were just to be like, hey, buy my stuff because X. And so storytelling has been phenomenal for a lot of our clients and us, 100% for us, on really building that know, like, and trust with our audience and making our emails something that people actually want to read rather than just unsubscribing from. All right. Tim, personalized video pitches.
I have the ultimate segue right now. So I'm going to tell you guys a story, okay? Leading previously. So about 2.5 years ago, a man came into my world named Sharad, and he signed up to my gym. I sent him an onboarding video, a personalized video on Loom. And then he booked in for 5 one-on-one sessions. We created a really good interpersonal relationship with Sharad and my coaches. Fast forward 2.5 years later, and he bought my gym. Okay.
Number one member.
Number one member. Loved it. Loved the passion. Loved the values. Loved the community. Loved everything about the gym. And he ended up being the guy that bought my gym, because it all started with a positive relationship when I sent him a personalized video pitch on his onboarding. Okay. These types of things you can't automate. You can't AI it. You can't systemize it. You can't do any of that shit. And people really appreciate it. Okay. The less automated things are, the more effort goes into them, the more people can feel the energy and the connection and the effort that went into it.
Absolutely.
How's that?
Great.
Segue.
Like, when I get video pitches, I open them.
Do you?
Yeah. Like I get video pitches for like copywriters or Facebook ads agencies, and you know, because sometimes I forward them to you. I'm like, this one's pretty good. We should watch it. Maybe we should buy from them.
Don't send any Steph. She buys them. Okay. Don't do that. We don't want that. We need to go through. Steph, let's talk about simplified posts and automations, aka ManyChat. We've been in the ManyChat.
Dude, we should become ManyChat affiliates
advisors,
at this
yeah.
point.
Move over Natasha Wilkes.
Yeah, Natasha Willis.
Yeah.
Willis? Don't worry, babe. We're not taking over. It's all good.
We're not. Don't.
So we
She's not worried.
Love it. She's certainly not concerned.
She's not worried.
Okay, so simplified posts. Honestly, some of the best posts for us and our clients that have worked the best have been like, just comment a word below and we'll send you a freebie off the bottom of most of their posts. And people just comment like, who knew? And this has always been the case for Instagram, so this is not new. But if you just tell people what to do, they do it. So if you say follow me, they're going to follow you. If you say comment the word, they're going to comment the word. You just want them to take the right action. The two things that you should be optimizing for on social media right now, or especially on Instagram, comments and follows. So they're the two things that you should be asking people to do. But yeah, absolutely. Get them to comment a word. Have a ManyChat automation set up so it automatically sends them the thing. You will crush on social media organically.
Miss 25K followers. How many leads have you got this week in the last 7 days? Because it's not a competition, but let's divide the numbers out and see who wins this. You don't even know, I bet.
Not as hard as you, I don't think. I have probably got around 250 this week organically off social media. How many
That's a round as fuck number. That sounds made up.
Okay. Well, I don't know.
266.
Okay. So you
with 10K followers.
Yeah. All right.
Let's go.
Yeah,
social media queen.
Hold on. I feel like we're measuring on a rolling 7-day average, and I haven't done the things you did this week.
Okay. It's not all right. Let's show the crew. Bit of healthy competition is great between husband and wife, isn't it? You know.
Tim, I love that you're getting all the ones that you literally never
Nothing more toxic.
I do love you. Okay, IG Live and multi-platform content. Okay. Another one that you are so big on.
Yeah, I'm huge on this, guys. I'm really big into IG Lives. I've done one ever.
Maybe we should do one.
Yeah, maybe we should do one. Crickets if no one gets on. That would be hilarious. So I'll skip the IG Live part. Let's talk about multi-channel content, which I do. So we write content for Facebook and Instagram mainly. Sometimes we repurpose to LinkedIn. I think a lot of people are under the notion that those two platforms need to work independently of each other. And a lot of the time, the content that works on either will work on both. So we're big on story content. We're big on problem solution content. We're big on objection handling content. And both of that stuff can go on either platform. And when I say Facebook, I'm not talking about that disgusting Facebook page that no one uses. We're talking about personal Facebook accounts. Okay. So we literally write the same content for both, schedule them on both in the apps, and that saves us heaps of time. Takes us about 2 hours a week each. Sometimes Steph a little longer, but she's got it dialed in because she's a beast now.
I did get it done in under 2 hours, and I did 2 weeks of content under 2 hours this week.
And then we repurpose on email and then LinkedIn as well. So one post goes to 4 places, which is epic.
I am going to touch on the IG Live because the reason that this segued in was because if you do an IG Live with somebody, it's really great to first of all tap into both audiences. But second thing is you can download it and then you can upload it again to like YouTube. You can post it on Facebook. You can make it a free training. There's lots of ways that you can repurpose that content, which I think is where that post came from.
Alrighty. Number 9, special offers.
I'm just going to go with offers.
Yep. Special offers.
Very, very special offers. Guys, this is not new. If you listen to our podcast regularly, you will know. And if you're part of our community, you will definitely know you got to make offers. Like the more money you make is going to be directly proportionate to the offers that you make. And so it's really, really important that you every at least 4 weeks, you're thinking about how can I jazz up or make something new to give to my audience so that they have what we will call a lean in, which is when they're like, oh, I'm interested in that, or I raise my hand, or I opt in. So that could be an offer, could be literally an offer to your service. So it could be like, we are currently running an offer. We will also run another offer for Black Friday. And so it's, we have offers that that oftentimes will come up. And then we also have other offers, which are like download this free checklist or download this free guide or book in a free call or come to our event or whatever it might be. And so if you're not regularly making offers, like you should be making offers almost daily. If you're not making offers almost daily, and if you're definitely not changing up your offer and spicing up your offer, your main offer every month, you're missing out. You're leaving money on the table for sure. Tim, DM outreach.
All right. We're going to talk warm DM outreach now. Cold, I wouldn't recommend. You're going to be like this guy, Oliver, in my DMs who messages me and says, hey, Tim, just following up on this. Bro, I haven't fucking replied to you and I don't know who you are. So it's not happening. So cold, I don't know about. I'm not super sold on cold, but let's talk about warm. So anyone that follows up, we DM, and I'm going to give you guys a little insider hack now. We've managed to get our reply rate from 10% to 42% just by changing this one thing. This sounds like an infomercial right now, but we personalize the intro DM. Doesn't sound like rocket science, but most people will go, hey, Tim, thanks for the follow. Are you here for business or banter or something like that? Okay. But you need to insert some stuff about their profile, their business, etc. in that intro message. Otherwise, it just looks like generic and automated and people don't want that. So make it personalized, do DM outreach. Obviously, you're going to have some kind of script, hopefully, if you're DMing. But I think at an absolute minimum, you should be DMing everyone that follows you, anyone that comments, and hopefully you can work in some ManyChat automations here to make this a little bit easier for you. All right, Steph, let's talk about simplified messaging here. Maybe let's talk about Paula from yesterday.
I think
that this is a good topic to go into.
Why don't you do it? Because you had the conversation with Paula, so I think it's better for you.
Yeah, so I had a client of ours and she's great energy, great person, solid operator. And she's been a bit like, I'd say tic-tac-toe about what she does, who she works with. If that makes sense, go with me here, tic-tac-toe.
I was like, what's tic-tac-toe?
That means like undecided in German. So she was undecided in German about who her niche was in an offer. And the problem is Steph's lost it. The problem is if you're not talking to anyone, specifically, you're going to get no one. Okay. And when you go and make a heap of noise online without any direction on it, generally it doesn't land super well. So yesterday I had a session with Paula one-on-one. She won a competition in Success School. So we did a call and we basically went through and then we worked out her niche, and she's a money coach for coaches. So coaches, consultants. And she wasn't clear on that before, but money coach versus money coach for coaches is a very different proposition in terms of making content and speaking to the right ideal client online. And we see this go wrong a lot of times, especially when people start in Success School. They come in and they're like, I'm an accountant, or I'm a coach, or I'm a fitness coach. And I'm like, sweet, we get that. But there's so much competition in the world right now that really Steph and I both think that you have to have some form of niche. If you don't have a niche, you have to be niched on a result that you get.
Mm-hmm. I think, like you said, Steph and I both think, we fucking super deeply believe, that you must niche. So like Paula's content now will go from, I'm a money coach and here's how you can manifest money, to like, here's how you can make X amount of money in your coaching business in the next 90 days, which just is so much more powerful for her audience. So it's going to be awesome to watch her crush.
All right, over to you, Steph. Personal posts and authenticity.
Obviously, guys, we talk
crying on camera.
Yeah.
Dancing reels.
Some of the trends that Instagram has presented us. Ugh. Okay, so personal posts, there's a really nice way of doing this that's almost like, I think the easiest way to do this is to kind of look at your calendar in the week, or look at what you've been reading, or look at, the books that you've got on your shelf, or the, people that you've hung out with this week. And what you're looking for is like a realization or an aha moment, or something that dropped in for you this week, courses that you've done, whatever it is, something that dropped in for you that was like, I felt this before and now I feel this. And then to actually just share that as social media content. So, literally the hook or the entire post would be like, prior to this week, I thought X, and now I think Y, and here's what changed. And then at the end, you could say just something like, do you resonate with this? Is this something that you're down for? Does this make sense? Or does anyone else feel me? And you're going to create this know, like, trust. The know, like, trust happens so much faster when you actually share who you are and your thoughts and your knowledge and what's happening for you. Now, that doesn't have to be the realization was that I need to leave my husband and cry on the internet and those sorts of things. Like, we're really big believers, and we've got a few podcast episodes coming out on this, that personal brand doesn't equal personal life. And so there's, I think, a few things that you can do to avoid needing to cry on camera. But I think that's a really nice way to kind of connect with people. And it could be business stuff. Like I realized this week, like Tim and I realized pretty recently that like niching is 100% the answer for most businesses. And so that's a new realization for us. And you will see us very shortly creating a lot of content about that. So yeah, I think just share more of what you're learning and what you're reading and all those sorts of things. Last but not least, Tim, let's talk about engagement through stories and kind of getting shout outs and those sorts of things for growth.
Yeah, so I think that too. I'll do engagement through stories and you can do shout outs.
Sure.
So engagement through stories I'll give you the strategy here. So what you do is you only post once on a 24-hour period. Usually it works better on weekends. Steph had 2,500 people see her story from doing this. Essentially what you want to do is just have one thing up, and it's really simple, and then you want to reply to that. So reply to a word or something. You can use a ManyChat sequence. What that does indicate to Instagram is that it's a high quality story, that people are replying to it, and then the algorithm feeds it to more people. The key here is just one thing on your stories, not a million things. Sometimes I don't share all of the client tags, which Steph will talk to next, just because it's very boring for the person that's looking at my profiles, just seeing all these client tags, because it has no relevance to them. So sometimes I like to keep my stories just about stuff that I'm actually doing and that I post myself.
Totally. So I'm going to talk about shout outs though. There's a time and a place. So Tim said that I agree. We don't share every tag that we have because it just, it makes, we don't enjoy watching people's stories when all they have is just repurposed stuff. And so I think it's good to be really mindful of that. However, in saying that, there is a time and a place for it. So we have worked strategies in the past where we encourage clients to share. For example, when our clients re-sign in our program, we would always share that to our stories because we send them a beautiful little bunch of flowers to say thank you. And we would always reshare that in our stories because it works twofold. The first thing that it works for is that the client is stoked and really happy, which we love, and we're so grateful. And we genuinely are so freaking grateful for every single client that decides to stay in our world. It's such an honor. But secondly, it shows our current clients and any new prospects that people are willing to stay in our world for multiple years in a row. And so it creates more trust and that sort of thing. And so I think that there's space here for getting shout outs. Those shout outs are really important. There's a lot of ways in which you can make those shout outs work for you. In my last program, we used to send cookies for people's birthdays. They would obviously tag us, then their friends would see it and they would come and have a look at us. And there's a lot of strategies here. You can give bonuses to people, clients like, hey, I'll throw in $100 Amazon gift card for everyone who shares it to their story and tags us. There's a lot of ways, but getting that really does help boost your growth, your social media growth, because if someone shares something on their story and it's a friend of mine, I'm more likely to go and check that person out. So this is definitely a strategy that works. There's a lot of different ways you can do it that are not gross and icky. And it's been really powerful for a lot of our clients.
Yeah. Then I came into the business and got rid of the cookies.
Yeah.
Okay. No more
pink cookies. No more pink cookies.
All right. So we're going to wrap up and I'm going to give my top 3 and then Steph's going to give her top 3. So if we were to implement these only, gun to the head, we can only use these 3 for the rest of our life. I'm going to go with the automation on ManyChat as be my number 1. Number 2, storytelling. And number 3, making offers would be my top 3 out of the 14. Just before Steph gives her finals, what you can do if you want a list of all of this, DM me on Instagram in my DMs, the word or the number 14, and I will fire off my ManyChat sequence to you. You give me your email address. I send you an email a day every day until you unsubscribe.
Wow, that's not the hottest pitch, babe.
I'm kidding.
I feel like you could have done a better pitch.
I won't do that at all.
Comment 14 and I'll send you this full list.
Yeah, I'll send you the full list as well, obviously. And emails every day.
Oh, Lord. Don't let Tim sell anything, honestly. Okay, my top 3 would definitely be storytelling as well. And I would also definitely do the ManyChat. So, guys, if you're listening to this, you absolutely, obviously these 2 things are the things to do. The one that I would change is networking, relationship building. I would 100% leverage networks so much. So that's probably the only other thing I'd change. But outside of that, similar. So you guys have it.
All right, guys, shoot us a message if you love that episode. If you like our new background, all the stuff, give us some feedback on that. As always, if you're new around here, subscribe to the show and share the show. Steph, anything from you?
No, thank you guys so much. We'll see you next week.
Awesome. See you next week.